Yep, I'm gonna be doing other things, but I'll still be talking to you.
Alright, I already started, but it doesn't matter. Hey guys, this is Do-It-Yourself Fixing, with the first fixing video with with the guest, Floppy Disk Master, and you should check out his channel, because he's gonna be start doing reviews and other stuff, and we're working together to keep our channels up and running. And I guess this whole entire video is about fixing this Macintosh Plus here. He made a video on it on his other channel of what happened after the Macintosh Plus exploded and had a capacitor explode. But I'm working on it to see if I can get it up and running again, which is probably not possible because it's been out in the cemetery for how long, Alex?
I'm assuming like a decade, maybe 2.
Yeah, so it was there for some sort of reason, and it had a smash screen, which we replaced the CRT. I'll show you it after, but if you look at my profile picture, that's what it looks like. So floppy disk, what's your opinion on the Macintosh Plus and how it runs?
What do you mean how it runs? Because it doesn't run.
No, I mean like the Macintosh Plus's like system.
Oh, you mean like in general?
Yeah, in general. Yeah.
Well, I don't tend to favor Apple products, but anything from the 20th century, like all that stuff, I do like it a bit more. The Macintosh Plus, most people would know it for the meme, and, you know, as much as I love memes and all, this is just not as classic of a system as I think it should be. I like some of the newer, older Macs from, like, the 90s or so, mainly because they can run After Dark. I don't know if the Mac Plus could run After Dark. I don't think it could, though. And what's a computer without After Dark? So some of the games that came later, some of the games that were on the Mac Plus, you know, because it wasn't in color, the later Macs were better for games. Even though, of course, Windows was always best for games, the later Macs could do it better.
That's true. I'll be right back. I just gotta grab some, solder. Here we go. Here's the roll of solder. And so, what happened with this Macintosh Plus is that we did do lots and lots of fixing, and Alex helped with most of the ideas of how to fix it. I was the one that did most of the working with trying to cook the motherboards and stuff like that to see if that helped. It really didn't help, but I think the real issue is this one capacitor that did fall out and did have issues with the plating, the metal plating that's on the board. So what I'm doing right now is I'm reseating the metal plating by using a little bit of metal plating from like a little bit away from the connector, and seeing if I can jump the solder and get it over to the little piece of metal that's sticking out of the capacitor. So, why?
This is what happens when you don't write scripts.
I know. So, why do you like the PET so much, the Commodore PET?
Well, it's obviously inferior to the VIC-20 and hence the C64, but I just like it for the iconicness. It's not something I ever picture I'll ever own because, you know, on a good month, I might get $10 pay. So yeah, that's something that's unrealistic for me being able to ever afford. And I don't see my channel taking off in the way that people like the 8-Bit Guy or Lazy Game Reviews do, so that people will just be like trying to send me stuff left and right. It's just something I don't picture myself owning.
Yeah, but I think the best, what I think the best way to do that and support our channel to get us money and allow us to do more of this stuff will be for the next couple of years until I go to college. I think we should do a Patreon. If you want, because my cousin's starting to do a Patreon, and she's trying to think of doing one because a lot of people do, and they do get a lot they get a lot of support there, and there's not many people on Patreon that do this stuff. So I'd rather do this on Patreon than do it on YouTube, where we'll get no success from this point on normally. Because our names aren't out there because of other things, but just the YouTubers now can watch us and see how our videos are doing, even though they only watch at least like a quarter of our videos. So it looks good so far. And we're gonna, what's good about this style is that this style right here is that this style shows like, this computer actually shows like, old, like, how, if you would ever see like a computer in an old, like abandoned building, or like something you would see like in Portal 2, perhaps, or something like that. This is what you would this is what I would expect to see, like dirtiness on it. Well, we did clean out the whole entire thing. It was filled with tons of dust and stuff like that, but we cleaned it out. And
there were plants growing in it, remember?
Yep, there were plants growing in it, and there was a lot of other stuff. But I think the funniest thing of all is, out of all the Macintosh like line, they never, like, why did the meme always have to revolve around the Macintosh Plus? Do you know, floppy disk?
Well, the creators of Macintosh Plus did not intend for it to become a meme. I think of the Vaporwave meme similar to the way that I do ASMR, in that they're their own little things on the internet that have their own communities, but then the normies come. In this case, the normies can be the outsiders, but then they come and they see this thing they've never seen before, like weird music and, weird things with this microphone. And I think that the Vaporwave really took off with Macintosh Plus because it's something you could loop over different video footage and make it funny, or you can do remixes of it. I don't see ASMR ever taking off in the meme community, at least not anytime soon. Even though College Humor did a good parody of it, it doesn't have the same appeal to me as Vaporwave does in terms of memes.
But I'm wondering, why did it become a meme? Why did it become? Why out of all the computers did this one become a meme?
Probably because, well, the Vaporwave thing is something that I was into for a little while before it was a meme, and they just come up with anything they can imagine. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So I could, make a song and call it, Potato Toilet, and, that could take off and be the next big thing. Not as a meme, but, like, as part of the music. So when they took the Diana Ross song and they just said, I need something to make for the title, how about I use that old Mac from like 20,000 years ago?
Oh. Well, that makes sense, over the Macintosh part. Well, what do you think what was your experience on fixing this Macintosh? Was it a bad experience or a good experience?
Well, when I initially found it in the cemetery, I was just looking for a place to throw away a water bottle, and I found that in the trash, and I was just ecstatic. And I didn't take it immediately. I decided to come home and call you about it. And then you went down and picked it up like the next day because you thought it was going to rain, which I thought that was absolutely absurd.
Well,
Because,
it said that it
It hasn't rained in the last 20 years. But, so we went back to the cemetery later to see what else there was, because, there were, like, some, word processors, like DOS stuff, and, I got stung by a bee, so we left early and didn't take anything.
Yep.
I'm not allergic or anything, it was just painful.
It was, and it was really weird how we didn't get stung the day before we went there and picked up the Mac, me and my cousin, because she was willing to do it because it looked very gray that day. We were afraid that it was going to rain like the night. I was afraid it was going to rain the night or the day after. And apparently it didn't, which is kind of weird because it just looked like it, like a lot looked like it, and then the next day it was just completely sunny out, which is very, very weird. I was just afraid that I didn't want to carry a whole entire Macintosh filled with water home or anything like that. So during the fixing process, did you think it was worth it, having fun doing it, or do you think it wasn't worth it?
Well, we had fun doing it, which is obviously important, but in terms of our work, it obviously failed because it blew up on us, and but I'd say that overall I had fun doing it. I look back on that fondly, even though we failed. So I'd say it was pretty successful in terms of, the experience and doing stuff hands-on. You can watch YouTube videos about people fixing Macs all day, but when you finally get something that's just, like, so nasty and awful and you get to work on it, it really leaves a bigger impact.
And what's really cool is that everything's still intact with it. Like, everything except for the CRT monitor was still standing with it all together. Even though the CRT monitor was smashed in, it still had the plugs and everything. Nothing was taken on this machine. It had a couple of cracks, but that was probably from throwing it into the dumpster. There was a couple other things there, and I think it was because it was everything with the plug day. And they never got rid of the stuff, so we went down there and got it. Everything's in there. Everything is here except for there's a little rust on the stuff. Well, not a little rust, a lot of rust on the anything metal, but not a lot of things. Like the connectors aren't as bad as the stuff. So like the stepper motor isn't bad in the floppy disk machine and all sorts of stuff. So I'm actually gonna see if I can pop a floppy disk in there because I haven't tried yet. And I'm gonna take a bad one that I don't care about because I just got another load at floppy disk. I just got another load of like 100 floppy disks. And here's the first floppy, and we are going to stick it in because why not? And let's see what will happen. It won't go in, and that was very, very, very expected that it won't go in. It's halfway in and it won't go in. I wonder if that's because normally it's an automatic system, and Macs always had an automatic system in them. What do you think, Floppy?
If I'm going to be honest, I am unaware of the automatic Mac loading system for the FDD. I have never heard of that, so I can't confirm or deny that, but it would make sense that if the components had, been busted shut, then you couldn't put a drive in, a disk in. But even if, it's just the outside that's rusty, there's still probably moisture in there stopping it somehow, or maybe dirt, or maybe even glass from the screen. We don't know.
It just stops, like, even halfway, so that's really weird. But if you guys want to see the motherboard, we're going to be taking it out right now, because I really want to check it out and see how it's doing. Now, I did cook this with another computer that blew up because I left the CMOS battery in it, which I shouldn't have done. And no one told me not to put it in there, so I didn't think of it when I put it in. So I was being really, really stupid at that point, and I put it in without thinking. But this thing actually came out fine. And here it is. These are the RAM, and then we have the CPU chip right here, and 2 other chips that you're able to remove. You have just basically the whole entire computer. This CPU chip is actually made by Motorola for some reason. I didn't know that. I see a lot of Motorola chips and things. So you got the back accessories like the HDD accessory, and then you have your normal like what do you call it? Normal printer plug. Then you've got, if you can see right, oh well, I wasn't showing the whole entire people the thing, so I'm gonna do it again. Here is the mouse. Yeah, it's a 9-pin serial mouse that only came with it. You have the your extension, HD extension. You got your I lost it again. Printer extension, and then you got 2 phone wires. Then in the front you've got your keyboard extension, and yes, it looks like a phone wire, and it is, and it's especially made for your certain thing that came with it. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. I think it was the stupidest choice. Don't you, Floppy?
Yeah, they made a lot of not so great decisions, especially when they, threw aside their other line of computers to focus on the Macintosh and Mac Plus, because their other computers were superior. They had color, they were cheaper, they had better, memory and RAM and all that stuff. But Steve Jobs decided that he was going to make the Mac his baby, and oh boy, did he do so.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs actually signed the mold of the Macintosh Plus, and I believe the original one too.
And I do.
If you take it apart, you can see his signature and all the other signatures on the inside of it.
And I'll do that right now once I slide the motherboard back in. Sorry if my head's in the way. I just have to do this certain way. Now the motherboard is kind of cool because it just slides out and you don't need to put the screws in unless you're putting the cover case back over it. It'll just slide out on you. So this is the cable for the floppy disk drive, and I wish I could replace the floppy disk drive. I just don't have another one that's single density. It was single density, right? It wasn't double, right?
If I had to guess, I'd say it was double, but I don't know for sure.
Because I thought the newer ones were double density.
Well, of course the newer ones are double density. My idea is that, the Macintosh Plus is a slightly revamped Macintosh. So, they probably would have changed a few things, like a tiny bit more RAM or stuff like that. And in this case, a double density drive as opposed to a single density. And that's just my guess, and I don't know for sure.
We're redoing the glue on it because it's falling apart on the front here. Okay, so once I do a little bit more glue and hold it on, I'll show you guys the signature. that was imprinted into it, which is kind of the best thing over the whole entire thing. And what I did was, I wasn't intentionally doing this, but I did put a light in there so you could see the inside, but apparently it actually just lights up the Steve Jobs thing. If you look in, I'll show it to you in a moment once I get this over with. But as well as you can, once you see it, it's in the middle, but whatever. You can see it, and it's kind of cool because I installed the little light that I bought from Radio Shack in the corner. It uses 4 AA batteries, and I've got the battery pack in the back. It's pretty cool. But it's cool because since this is I did it because it's transparent, and it's because the monitor is really small, but the monitor fits perfectly on the back. The only thing I'm worried about is if it actually turns on, I don't know if it's going to explode anywhere else, and that might be an issue. But I don't think it will because of how well we did the project. But we're gonna try to get back to this, like, really well later. But, like, right now we're not, like, doing it fully. Because if we were, I would go to his house and bring it to his house and we'd be doing stuff with it. But I'm just doing the minor things right now. And I kind of burnt it over here. With my soldering iron a little while ago. I made a video of it. And, yeah. That's a really funny video that I did on it, because I just started making the video, and I'm like, so here's the motherboard, and then, because I was gonna make a video on it before, but I didn't, and I was like, here's the motherboard, and what's that smell? And I turn it over, and then there's tons of smoke puffing out of me. I'm like, no! So I have that video, but I'm not gonna be uploading it to YouTube. I might be able to send it to floppy disk and have him upload it to his, but I have restrictions on it, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into detail with that, but whatever. So let's since that's done, I'm going to be showing you now the original signature. You probably can't see it, so I'm gonna be taking out a light. And if you can, right here it says Steve, I'm gonna go under it, Steve Jobs. I'm gonna put, no, I'd rather do an LED if it's gonna be brighter. Here we go. Steve, it's not even better. Steve Jobs. You can tell because it says Jobs. Yeah, it's better with the LED. So it says here we go. Steve Jobs. Right there. And these are all the other creators. Deluxe. Raw. Whatever. And it also says this is Noble's, but this is Noble's Mac, but Nathan can keep it. Lol. That's really great. Thanks, floppy disk, for that. And
you're welcome, improvise. Improvise. What is an improvise?
What's an improvise? Well, I'm glad you asked. My old name was Improvise 101. Now, the reason why I said Improvise 101 is because I had an old computer that only flashed light. That only flashed its light, and it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't boot whatsoever. So I was like, oh, I can turn it into anything I want. Like, I could put, like, a crystal on top of it and have it shoot out lights everywhere, and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, Improvise, that would be my new name. So I turned that to Improvise 101, and I was like, nah, it's not good enough. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna be going to, why not? Well, I can keep that name, but I'm not gonna make that my normal YouTube channel because it sounds like it just sounds stupid, and it sounds like I'm a little kid. Hey everybody, it's Improvise 101 here, and I do that sometimes to my friends because they think it's funny. But other than that, this Macintosh Plus is actually pretty cool if you were to ever own one, which you'll. The reason why it's so cool is because you'll never find anyone that really actually owns one of these. You'll find them in museums and all this other stuff, and you probably know no one that will own one. And us too, or mostly Floppy owns this because he found it in the cemetery, but you'll never find anyone else with an owner. You'll never find another owner with one of these unless you're like going into the middle of the United States where everyone's getting rid of everything that's in their house no matter what. And you'll find stuff in trading places and all sorts of things, like how I'm supposed to be still uploading that video with the Xbox. I got 2 Xboxes for $15 in Indiana. They didn't come with the cords or anything like that, but still, they're $15. So what are you gonna do about that? I'd rather not pay $100. And I know one of them's working because Floppy lended me his plug. So that one worked. It had I didn't know it played movies, but it had a copy of Dodgeball, the movie, in there, and it was all broken and cracked and everything like that. But then the disc drive worked and everything else worked, and I was playing Halo Reach, and it worked fine. So I was very happy about that. But I'm gonna be still making more videos. But hopefully, what we're going to be doing now is. Well, we're not going to be doing anything now. I'll show you guys later after. But what I will do is I'm going to do a test on it. But right now, I'm still going to be working on it because I'm trying to think of other ways to make it better than it is. So you have the switch right here. You have the little CMOS battery compartment. I don't even know if the CMOS is needed. Is the CMOS needed for a startup?
I do not know, but I do remember that compact you gave me. The CMOS in that thing, it both corroded and rusted at the same time. So even when I replaced it, it made no difference.
Yeah, I had...
tried to break down the connector with alcohol, but that didn't work.
Yeah, what we did was we figured out a good way to... We drown these things in alcohol, we drown them in, vinegar, and all this other stuff. And they still haven't worked yet, but the only reason that is because the little capacitor fell out of it again. So then I'm trying to redo it because re-solder it, because the issue I had is that it kept ticking because it wasn't making a connection. So hopefully by now I put some soldering paste on there so that would stick more. And hopefully this will keep it from doing the ticking and start it up. I don't know if it's going to start. It's probably going to explode again. Who knows? My uncle said it's busted. Both of my uncles said it was busted. But you'll never fail unless you fail to fail. No. There's never I can't make up a good phrase. You can never fail with an easy way out. No, you'll always fail with an easy way out. You'll never fail with the hard way out. And what I'm saying is that if I were to take a whole entire motherboard, get rid of it, and get a new one, it would successfully work. Or get rid of the old sweep / power supply out, it would work. And I could keep the case. Or multiple other things, but it will always work no matter what. So that will mean that no matter what I do, there's a way of fixing it, but we're taking we're trying to take the easy way out, which is failing because... I said it wrong. I said it was supposed to be the hard way. the hard way out will always fail, the easy way out will always success. And what I'm saying is that the easy way out is to buy the parts, but instead, well, there's two ways of saying it. For buying parts and for fixing it, there's two different meanings on fixing it and buying stuff. Now, buying stuff is easy way out, but what if you don't have any money? Then you have to go the hard way out. So it can be meaning for both things, no matter back and forth. Well, backwards and forwards. Well, I think it's time to go test it. And we're going to have to, leave Floppy because he's on a digital device right now. And we can't test it in the house or I'm afraid of blowing up everything. But what we can do in the meantime is we can put it back together. So I'm going to put it together now. So this is the plate that keeps the motherboard from touching the ground. And then you've got the normal plate that goes over it. I'm betting that it's going to start ticking again, but who knows? I don't. I've been working on this thing for quite a long time, but then stopped and then done it again. Now, the only issue that I know is wrong with this thing is, or like really bad with this particular model is, Floppy, just take it away. What's wrong with...
It was in a cemetery.
No. What's wrong with the case?
The case? The fact that it's all broken.
No. The case is, like, design.
Oh, right. You can't work on it properly.
Not that. No, the case is design. What can't it do?
You lost me. You're probably trying to make a joke that I don't understand right now.
No, the joke. Okay, what's wrong with it is that it has no speaker hole on the side, so you'll have a muffled speaker whenever you turn it on, and
right.
Yeah.
PC sound. Yeah.
So you'll never hear the boot up unless you cut. Oh, well, it's very hard to hear the boot up or anything like that because they never cut a hole in this specific one, which is really weird because this was the high-end one out of all the other ones, and out of all the other ones, this one was the high-end one, and this one cost more money than the original ones, but it didn't have the holes, and it came with, like, just a little bit more memory, but, like, it just wasn't as good of an operating system or something like that. I remember that someone said that it was not good for its type of operating system, and it wasn't. They thought it was revolutionary. It didn't turn out revolutionary whatsoever. So, yeah. So that's kind of bad that it wasn't revolutionary, which is very, very, very sad about this specific machine, because this specific machine is probably one of my favorite machines, especially because because of its meme. And it was very, very weird that we actually found one, or Floppy actually found one, because I was thinking of just getting, like, oh, we're going out to the cemetery just to find a normal PC, like, we'll only find, like, a normal PC or a monitor or something like that. But no, he actually found one of the specific machines that we've been looking for, just because it's one of the coolest ones. And I actually was looking for one of these for quite a while, and because I thought it was the coolest thing. So I was looking them up everywhere, like Macintosh Plus. And you know what was really, really cool? Is that my teacher from my old school, he did a project that that was like fixing or like take apart and stuff like that. And he said he always wanted a Macintosh Plus because of its boot and all this other stuff. And he actually looked up a video and told me about it. I'm like, whoa, that's the and why I liked it so much is that because you would see these if you ever watched Adventure Time. They have these computers laying in the background, like on their shelves and stuff like that, and they're just all apparently they just collects them, and I was like, wow, that looks exactly like the one in Adventure Time. Apparently they based it off that, but I thought that would be the coolest thing to have ever. And apparently comes out to find out that we found that floppy found the exact one that I wanted, the exact one my teacher wanted, way before it became a meme. And it was really, really weird to have that happen. So now, I'm going to be showing you what it looks like with the light on. It's not very good. Here, let me turn it around a little bit more. There, you can see the light in the back. It's kind of cool, right? Just runs on the 4 AA batteries and stuff like that. So I guess, well, I'm going to be taking it outside. Floppy's going to be staying afterwards to talk with me, but Floppy's thinking about doing some, like, if you check out his channel, he's thinking of starting some streams of us talking about specific items and stuff like that, and he's also going to be reviewing most of my electronics, so that we can work together to see if we can, whatever we get out of YouTube, we can split money and all sort of stuff with it. Hopefully, if we get the stuff, we're not asking for subscribers like other people do. You don't have to subscribe to me, you can just watch my videos, and don't bother doing anything that you don't want to do there. And I don't think anyone cares about that, because I think anyone wants just the views. Like, why you want people to subscribe to you? That's stupid. So Floppy, you could stay on. I'm just gonna be bringing everything outside for a test run, and I'm just getting the power cord for it. We're hoping that this machine will actually run, which it probably won't. If it will, then I'm gonna thank God, and I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what to do if that would happen. So it's time to take this off the chair, and yes, this was taped to a chair. And we're gonna bring it outside, because let's do this thing. Here we go. Now what we have to do, like very professionally or whatever, is that we need to make sure that we're as far away from it as possible. What the heck? What? No. It's nighttime. And I didn't know that. What the heck? I've been down there for that long? Okay. I guess I was down here for that long, but we're still making the video. I don't care. Sorry for the voice crack. Come on for puberty. Okay, I don't know where the extension... Oh, here we go. Extension cords. Extension cords. Gotta go outside to test my Macintosh. Macintosh. You won't be able to see anything at all. It doesn't matter, because you don't need to. You just gotta listen for the sound of exploding capacitors. Okay, it's on. So now it's time to plug it in. Always gotta check to see if the it's on, because we're gonna. Because we're gonna be far away plugging it in, so we don't know what's gonna happen. All right, 3, 2, 1. No, 3, 2. Come on, stupid thing. 3, 2, 1. It's still not going in. You gotta be kidding me.